Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Australian Stock Car Championship Weekend Warriors. It is round number 11 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. I am Carl Wilkinson Withy, and whoops, completely hit the wrong button there. That's not what we want to do, is it? And we are here for the 11th round of the championship, the Mockingbird 200 here at Bristol. So should be a fairly good race here tonight. Sorry, forgive me, as one of my camera packets just gone in the wrong spot. There we go. We're just getting to qualifying right now, so we will get into that and get this one underway. I think I'm joined up in the booth. I think I can hear Mark Johansson scuttling away in the background there. How you going, Mark? How are you going, Mark? Oh, not bad, thank you. Yourself? Oh, fun indeed. Some interesting tracks. It does make things a little bit more interesting, of course. And look, these short tracks, they do tend to breed issues, unfortunately. Many things can go wrong here on this shorter track, unfortunately, and they usually do. So hopefully we won't have too many problems out there tonight. Fingers crossed we don't see too many issues. Apparently you're muted, Mark, so sorry about that. I will fix that one up for you. I think I have my desktop audio a little bit too low. Give that a go again, Mark. There we go. We should be able to hear you now.
I know we get on all right. So I mean to say, I haven't been broadcasting or commentating with the Ants car for a couple of weeks, so you can't be sick of my voice already.
Yeah, that's it. Just absolutely sick of you. It's been 5 seconds. Completely tired. But no, all good. We've actually got some cars out on track. We've got Jai Schultz out on track at the moment. I think he's just finishing up. I think we've managed to miss everybody's laps as they've gone around. Forgive me as I just get the audio settings in the right spots.
I can tell you now, Ed Foster's done a time of 14.7, and he's sitting in second spot in the championship, and Ruben Phelps, the championship leader at the moment, has done a 14.8. So the battle is on again tonight here for P1 in the championship.
Yeah, it is really close racing at the moment, which is great to see. We're just seeing Noddy Tompkins just finishing up his lap. Just forgive me one moment as I quickly just...
And Nobby, a lot of viewers wouldn't know, we do the 87 Masters, the throwback to the 1987s, and Nobby had a great win there tonight in the 87. So well done, Nobby.
Oh, congratulations! That is great to hear, and especially for SRM getting a victory tonight in the 87s. That is a hard thing to do because that is a really, really competitive scene as well.
Yeah, that was 1-2 for SRN. Matty Raymond, I think, finished second there, so it was a good night for him.
That is brilliant to hear, and it's great to hear. And forgive me as I just get a quick dose of double audio there. But I'm still trying to actually set everything up, so as always,
1-2 for SRN. Matty Raymond.
As always, gotta love getting everything set up at the last minute. It's always fun. Makes things much more interesting to get going. There we go. All right, I think I'm done. And there we go. Alright, I can actually get ready to do the actual broadcast now. So, yeah, that is really good news. And I'd love to be able to cover the 87s, or at least be able to race in it a little bit more, because I do love those 87 cars. They are such a blast to have a go in. Really fun cars to race in. If you've never had the opportunity to race them before, they are well worth it. So, As we get ready to grid up here, let us go through the starting order of the race. Just forgive me as I get this all up. And get hopefully sound balance is correct in there as well. So we are getting ready to get out on track, and for some reason why aren't you coming up with my drivers? Just forgive me for one moment. For some reason, just missing out on my drivers there. There we go. Up on pole for Edward Foster. So it is Foster on pole position. You have to forgive me as I've lost all my timing screen, so that does not help me at all in this one. And for some reason, the cars have disappeared. So forgive me here as things are just not working as they should do. We will get this hopefully working properly as we get ready to race. It's Foster Phelps on the front row. We're getting ready to go green here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and green it does indeed go. As forgive me just one moment as I'm just trying to get my timing screen working. There we go. Okay, finally it's working. Okay, there we go. So away we go. Foster Phelps fighting it out at the front at the moment. Side-by-side action here at Bristol Motor Speedway. It is Foster taking the lead here. Wayne Van Bullion up into third position. Nice job from him. Tom Pritchard sitting in fourth position. Toby Stent down in fifth with Brad Allison in sixth. We've got Jamie Curvis, Adam Malone, Norman Clark, Jai Schultz, Devon Stove, Mark Smith, Stuart Patterson, Darren Mckenzie, Paul Drady, Noddy Tompkins, Justin Allen, Michael Skurlock, Maddie Ray, Maxie Marshall, Mark Johansson. 21 cars out there tonight. We are green here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and away we go. And Foster takes a great lead at the moment, out in front as the cars thunder around here on the beautiful concrete of Bristol. Lovely to see the track back in full use. Still dislike the fact that they turned it into a dirt track. It's not quite as fun, I think. I do miss the track as the old layout because I absolutely adore this place. Foster, though, is having a really good run up at the front. A little bit further back, the cars are a little bit closer together. We've got Darren Mckenzie chasing down Norman Clark at the moment. Mark Smith, Devon Stove, Stuart Patterson in there as well. Noddy Tompkins, the 87 winner there, just trying to catch up to that group at the moment. Meanwhile, up front, Darren Mckenzie makes a move as Norman Clark makes a little bit of a mistake, runs a little bit wide, and he's going to lose a few positions as he runs that high line. A few different lines you can use here as well, just to get the cars in different spots. Try and actually get into a different position, try and save the tyres a little bit for those longer runs, of course. Drivers are limited to a certain amount of tyres, of course, in the series. I think it's 3 sets of tyres for the race. Of course, you start on a set and then you get 3 sets through the race, of course. Fuel won't be too much of an issue here at Bristol. It's not a fuel hungry track, but they will run out eventually and need to come in for a bit of a top up, of course.
Yeah, tonight, Carl, we've got 4 sets of tyres, as you said. That's the set you start on plus 3 others, so you need to get 50 laps out of a set of tyres for the 200 lap race.
Yeah, it can be tricky here as well, because the tyres will go off quite quickly and you can burn them up quite so fast. And these cars, we know that they are a bit rough on the tyres when they're on cold rubber, of course. The cold rubber can really affect them. But you can overheat the tyres quite quickly as well, and that can be another issue. So you've got to be careful of overheating the tyres. You don't want to get that done too quickly. If the tyres start getting hot, then you can really start to struggle. Brad Allison moving his way up, just getting past Toby Stent at the moment. So Brad Allison on a bit of a run, hoping his internet woes have finally sort of settled themselves out. Been having a few technical issues recently. A little bit further down the field, we've got a fair few fights going on. Driver that's not having the best of starts is Michael Scullock in the 350, just dropping off in 18th position at the moment. A little bit further down than we're used to seeing him. Towards the back we have Mr. Mark Johansson just circling around in the beautiful Star Wars liveried car at the moment, of course, with the Death Star on front representing the Empire, the best of the Galactic Empire, of course. Meanwhile, Ruben Phelps is making a move on Foster, tries to get down the inside, can't quite make it there. The battle between Foster and Phelps is on. Championship rivals fighting it out, so it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. Of course, championship standings, if you give me one moment. I will be able to have that up. There we go, that's the one I was looking for. Championship standings at the moment, it is between Phelps and Foster. Phelps currently in the lead as Phelps makes a move on Foster, gets down the inside of the 53. The 06 taking that low line, gets a really nice run, touches the apron, gets very close to Foster, has to lift out. Foster keeping that car on the high line. Beautiful driving there by Phelps and Foster. They kept the cars in good positions, but that's going to help Van Bullion get a bit of a run on Phelps. Phelps is trying that low line. Just got to be careful not to nick that nick the apron, because that will unsettle the car. And of course, with the rear diffuser on these cars, it can really make them go around quite quickly too. So championship wise, it is just a couple of points between the two at front. So up front it is Ruben Phelps, 32 points behind is Foster in second. Then you have Stevie Dubb down in third position, Jamie Nankervis in fourth, Kobe Jordan in fifth, sixth is Norman Clark, seventh Adam Malone, Wayne Van Williams eighth, ninth is Trishan Koch, and 10th is Scotty McClintock. So a few drivers not here tonight, of course, because Bathurst 12 hours is on. As what's happened to Van Bullion here? Wayne Van Bullion's had a bit of an issue and he's dropped right back. So we'll see if we can catch the replay here as all contact. Let's just go back and see what's actually happened here. So has Van Bullion actually had a little bit of a moment coming out the corner? He's gone for a move on Ruben Phelps and he's lost the rear of the car, unfortunately for Van Bullion, and that is possibly night over for him.
I was just going to say, Carl, I know he dropped to the low line very quick, and I got past him very fast.
Yeah, he dropped right down to the low line, went to try and make a move on Phelps, and he went a little bit too low. The back of that car got super loose on him, and around he went, and that was night done for him. A big shame, because he was having a good run up there, battling it out for the lead. There was no contact from what I could see between him and Phelps, so it just looked like he lost the rear end on his own down the straight there, unfortunately. As the cars come thundering past, a lot of battles going on. You can see in the background Norman Clark at the moment. He is fighting it out, trying to get in the top 10. Norman Clark, the fuel-saving master we saw in Anne's car this week on the one-stop strategy. Meanwhile, got a little bit of a gap between Toby Stent and Nankervis, and Nankervis is trying to catch up to the back of Stent at the moment. They've fallen off the back of Brad Allison. 27 laps gone so far, and it is still green flag racing, which is great to see. That is a bit of a surprise, I think, from everybody.
It's going to be interesting when these guys catch me. It's going to be very hard to pick a line, because the track wants to drag you down into the corners, but then it wants to spit you out towards the outside wall down the two short straights.
Yeah, it's a tricky track to master, and I think this new generation of car it's not really it doesn't particularly like it, does it? It sort of seems very very tricky to get right.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, mate. Just concentrating a little bit.
No, that's okay. You concentrate away. The leaders are catching you at a vast rate of knots. They're getting very close to you, so we'll keep an eye on that one. You concentrate on driving there. So it is Foster in the lead at the moment, and it is a battle between Foster and Phelps at the front. Foster is pulling away a little bit. He's managed to break a little bit of a gap out front, which is good for him. So he's having a good run now as they get past Mark. Mark just dropping to the low line, trying to keep down there and out of trouble, and does absolutely, as both Phelps and Foster squeeze past and get through nice and quickly. One of the things you will see is all the marbles at the top of the track as well, and that's going to be something to watch out for if you do run a bit too high. It's very easy to get the car up there, and then it's very hard to get the car back down again, because of course you get all those little bits of tyre just dropping off the car and falling out there. Tom Pritchard with the new livery for the Southern Stars entry there, I think. So very pretty looking livery there on him. So nice to see some new liveries out there. Kobe Jordan, welcome to the chat. Unfortunately, didn't know he was in the top. He didn't know he was in 5th place in the championship. Otherwise, he would have sucked it up and come out racing tonight. So took the night off because he's not feeling too well. I hope you feel better soon, Kobe. Hopefully it is a quick recovery. And look, I mean, taking the night off because feeling unwell is not a terrible thing to do. It's much better than pushing yourself and then getting out there and making yourself feel worse. But Foster has built up a huge lead up at the front. He's got almost a 1.5 second lead now over Phelps. So Foster is pushing ahead at the moment, getting a good run towards the front of the pack. So nice to see those two having a good battle. You can see here the gap in live timing from Phelps to Foster, and Phelps is just dropping behind a little bit, and he's got to be careful because he's falling into the grasp of Brad Allison as well. So Brad Allison moving up there quite quickly. He's going to be putting some pressure on Ruben Phelps relatively shortly. Big thank you, of course, to the Weekend Warriors sponsors, of course, Track Racer and Custom Paints and Diecast. A huge thank you to those guys for all of the help they give to the series. You know, it's one of those things we love to be able to shout out for them because they help us and we can help them and support them as well. You know, the more support we can give to sponsors, the more sponsors that are looking to come on board as well. The battle between Nankervis, Pritchard and Stent at the moment is absolutely on fire. These two side by side.
I can tell you also, Carl, we've got an announcement hopefully either next week or the week after. We're hoping to have a new sponsor come on board for the Triple Crown.
That is always nice news. So new sponsors are very good indeed. Jane Nankervis doing a great job getting past Tom Pritchard as the first caution flag comes out for... Oh, a big accident. Is that Ruben Phelps caught up in that one? It is indeed. Ruben Phelps. It looks like Norman Clark and Michael Skurlock involved in this one. Just going to go back to this one because I didn't quite get what happened here. So let's see if we can catch what's happened here. And luckily it's not the spicy cough either for Kobe Jordan. So that's good news. Sorry, it wasn't Ruben Phelps, it was his teammate, sorry. So let's see.
Yeah, Mark Smith, I think it was.
It was Mark Smith. So Mark Smith and Michael Skurlock, they're getting involved in something. Let's see if we can catch what's going on here. A big checkup up front. That's caused Norman. Is that Norman Clark?
Yeah.
Big rollover there. Norman Clark having a huge accident there. There was a bit of a checkup, and Norman Clark got really caught up in that. Let's just go back and have another look at that one as they were racing very hard. We have got some cars coming down pit lane at the moment as well, but Norman Clark just gets caught. Actually looks like maybe just got a bit of side draft or just got some netco possibly from yourself there, Mark. And Norman's gone up into the wall and over he goes, bouncing over on top of Skurlock as well. And he does manage to land on all fours, Norman the Cat Clark, but that car, I think, is done for tonight.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he was trying to get past me. I don't know whether I actually moved a little bit or whether it was netco, but the next thing I know, he was sideways and into the wall.
Yeah, and he had a big rollover there as well. He absolutely went flying, ended up on top of Michael Skurlock, a position that nobody wants to be on. So, very tricky thing there, and that was a big accident for our first caution of the night here. We're on lap 46 of 200. Relatively clean racing up to that point, though, luckily, so that is some good news. So people were a bit worried out there tonight because it was looking a little bit rough out there. It was definitely looking a little bit... it was looking a little bit rough on the track. But things seem to be much better than we were expecting. Your leaders are Foster in the lead with Phelps in second, Allison in third position, and then Adam Malone in fourth position, of course. So good to see those drivers having a good run at the moment. Let us quickly pull up because I haven't actually had a chance.
Brad looks like he's dropped out for packet loss.
Oh, that is a real big shame. Brad Allison having some serious issues with his internet recently after somebody cut the wrong cable, and that looks like it might have dropped him out, so that's going to put Nan Curvis up a position. That is a huge shame for Brad, who was having a fantastic drive tonight. He was hoping that things would be a bit better for him, but obviously not for tonight, and that is not fun. So we have had 0 changes for the lead technically. We've had the single caution so far. Foster has led every lap of this race as it stands, so he's going to hope he can continue that one. And one other thing I wanted to check out as well was the temperature, but we are going back to green flag racing here as Foster gets away, as got Mark Smith up on the high line there, just getting caught out in a pack, so he's just going to get out the way as the leaders come through here tonight.
Just ask, Carl, was that a single file restart then?
I'm just going back because it was a bit strange. No, I don't think it was. I think it was... it might have been a single file. No, it was side by side. It's just, unfortunately, Mark Smith was sort of out front, so he was sort of caught. For some reason, he was unable to pass the pace car, so it just threw everything out a little bit and caused everybody to drop into single file formation, I think. So a bit of a strange one there, because usually the lapped car will get the wave around, so not sure exactly what happened there for Mark Smith, unless he didn't come into pit lane. And
another caution, I think it was Paul spinning around there on the front straight.
Paul Drady. Okay, let's go and have a little bit of a look-see at this one. As always, just lost it coming out of turn 4 and big impact, nose into the wall, and that is the end of the night for Paul Drady. Unfortunately, that car is donezo. That engine will be no more. It is deceased. It is no longer living. It is no more. That engine is very much dead. There we go, that's what I was looking for. Weather-wise out there, track temperature-wise, we are looking at 26 degrees, 79 degrees Fahrenheit, of course, 26 Celsius. Air temperature 24 degrees, 75 Fahrenheit. Wind speed of 8 kilometers per hour, 5 miles per hour in a southwesterly direction, so that will throw the cars off a little bit. It's a fairly high wind speed, but of course it is a very big stadium here, so that does tend to stop the wind from affecting too many cars. So that does help a little bit in that respect.
Yeah, Carl, if you want to pull Norman up there into the broadcast booth, mate, he's happy to have a chin wag with you. I just got told.
Down in the medical centre, we will grab the 09 of Mr. Norman Clark at Atari. A big accident we saw there, Norman. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Look, obviously, we'd love to have you in better circumstances. Hopefully, first of all, are you okay after that big accident?
Yeah, it was a big one. Yeah, 100% my fault. Car was good, everything was good. I was driving pretty well. and the tail got a little bit loose there, and I caught it very easily. But with this car, you know, and I'm not blaming the car. I mean, it was so close that I didn't actually need to lose it. But then in the losing it, I mean, you know, just one of those things, and then I got caught by some other car which turned me over a good few times. But I mean, it was a great crash. It was a realistic type situation. Nothing funny, nothing stupid, no excuses. It's 100% my fault. So
we,
I've got 16 minutes of damage. So we're trying to see what we can do, and I'll probably get back there and just hope for a finish.
I was about to say 16 minutes of repair time for that accident is not too bad. I was expecting a lot more than that when I saw you on top of Michael Scurlock. After that incident, there was a moment where you were on top of his car for a few seconds. But big accident there. It's good to hear that you're all okay, and hopefully the mechanics will work hard and get you back out on track soon.
Yeah, we're just looking for lots of duct tape, and should be back.
Yes, I think they'll be off to buy all the duct tape they can find. A few hundred kilometres of 100-mile-per-hour tape, and she should be right.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Norman. We'll catch you again.
I was just going to say, Norman, sorry if I had anything to do with that, mate. I don't know whether it was a neck code from my car or what happened, but yeah, it looked very spectacular from my cockpit.
Yeah, Mark, I really don't think you had anything to do with it. I mean, I passed you really, really close because I was in a bit of a scrap with the other car. And as I went past you, you know, once I think I'd cleared you, I started to floor it, and the back came out slightly. And you know, with these cars, they have a tendency to sort of cut inwards as well, if you know what I mean. So I got out of the gas for that brief moment, and then I got back onto the gas. But I don't know, there might have been just a fraction of something, but nothing from your side. No, nothing. Just 100% my fault. No tires, excuse. There's just no excuse. It's just a crash. That's it.
Yeah. All right, mate. I'll see you next week back.
Yeah. Good one, Mark. All the best.
If in doubt, always blame Mark. That's what I say, Norman. So blame him 100% for it. As we've got another caution out, as we just got back to green, unfortunately. What has happened here? Noddy Tompkins, possibly.
Oh, I know it was a purple car.
A purple car. Who's got a purple car? Oh, there we go. It was Stuart Patterson into somebody else. Somebody else had actually gone up into the wall there. So let's just take a bit of a look-see with this one on the old gyro. So yeah, the big accident up into the wall. It was one of the it was it Tom Pritchard? No, it wasn't Tom Pritchard. It was one of the Southern Stars cars there, I think, and Stuart Patterson just had nowhere to go there and just got absolutely caught up in that one. That was a big accident there, unfortunately, and that really caught him out. Let's see if we can figure out who the other cars were in that one. So the number 9 and the 681. So 681. So sorry, not number 9. Number 6. Sorry, reading it upside down. So Tom Pritchard was involved in that one, and the 186 is Toby Stent. So they got in contact in the wall, and Patterson had nowhere to go there and got caught up in that one. As we just went back to green flags, and then cautions breeding cautions, as is often the case. We got a few more cautions out there. Big thank you to everybody joining us tonight. Welcome to my channel. This is my channel, Screezilla. This is what I do in my spare time, if you didn't know. So thank you so much for joining us here tonight. It's a bit of an emergency-ish broadcast, so just covering while, unfortunately, JP is out with technical issues. So hopefully be back soon to get everything back to normal. But we are at least able to cover the racing here on my channel here on Facebook and on YouTube as well. So hopefully you're enjoying the race so far. And I apologise as well for slight lack of concentration on my side. Just too many things going on at once, so trying to keep an eye on things and makes things a little bit trickier. But we are into lap 64 of 200, so we've still got quite a long way to go. Foster still leads, so it is Foster still leading Phelps and Malone with Nankervis, so that really hasn't changed at all. And if we go to the, there we go, that's the button I want to use. We have still had no lead changes in this race, so Foster has still led every single lap so far. Will he be able to continue that? We saw Ruben Phelps making a mistake last restart as he tried to get past Foster. Will he get it right this time? He will hope so. Third caution of the night. We're going to get back to green flag racing very, very shortly. Foster in the lead, Phelps on the outside. Then it is Malone, Nankervis, Stove, Raymond, Matty Ray on his charge through the field as usual. And we are underway. Foster gets away cleanly there. Nice start from Foster. He gets a good restart ahead of Phelps. The car of Malone is in third. Nankervis and Devon Stove having a bit of a battle. Stove was almost nudging Nankervis on that restart, really trying to push him along. A little bit of rubbing and racing there between those boys, and that's the battle that's going on at the moment on track. Devon Stove getting the move done. A little bit further behind is Jai Schultz. He's pushing his way up. Jai Schultz having some good runs at the moment. Maddie Ray sitting there for SRM just a little bit further behind. Michael Skurlock, he got caught up in that early incident, but he's worked his way up into 8th position. A great recovery so far from Michael Skurlock. Mark Smith as well, sitting in 9th position, with Darren Mckenzie currently sitting in 10th place. So interesting to see a few people working their way through. Josh Schultz currently done 3 trips through pit lane as well, so he has had a really good chance. He has had a really good drive getting back up into the top 10, considering he's been through pit lane 3 times, just topping up the old fuel tanks and possibly getting a few bits of repair done as well. Don't see much damage there, but I think it might be a little bit on the left hand side, so good job from him. Meanwhile, up front, Foster is still in the lead, but Ruben Phelps is trying to catch him down. Phelps just setting the fastest lap of the race this time around, so Phelps is trying to keep on the back of Foster, not letting him get away anywhere. A little bit further back in the field, we have got a little bit of racing, but there is quite a few injured cars now. Quite a few cars are down laps, and quite a few cars are in pit lane, so I think currently we've got 13 cars outrunning and only 12 of those cars are on the lead lap. Justin Allen, the final car on the lead lap at the moment. But up front, it is Foster in the lead, still pushing away ahead of Phelps. See, Noddy Tompkins just coming out on track. I thought that was Maddie Ray for a moment, but no, just Noddy Tompkins just coming back out on track as it stands. And Foster very much taking that high line. He's very much favouring that high line at the moment, enjoying that run, and that's working well for him, so he's doing as much as he can to get that one working, and it is working reasonably well for him. So you've got to say it's nice when you can get a line working for yourself, and these things do, it helps with the race, of course, because you can just get into a nice groove of things. Sorry about that. Just getting some bits and bobs done. But Foster in the lead with Phelps in second. Looks like, is that Hansen just getting past there again? As Nankervis gets through. Devon Stove pulls out a nice bit of lead at the front as well, so he's pulled out into 4th position. Josh Schultz 6th position at the moment, and Maddie Ray is trying to chase him down, but there's a bit of a gap. All the cars are gapped out at the moment, so there's not really much on battle wise, as Maxi Marshall's ahead Darren Mckenzie, so those two are, Darren Mckenzie's ahead of Maxi Marshall. Maxi Marshall first car a lap down in P11. He's going to want to try and see if a caution comes out, because that will be really helpful for him if it does happen. Of course, a man that does not want to see a caution flag is the leader, Foster. He's going to really want to see this one run green for as long as possible to get some green flag running in and get that lead extension as well. But there is always that chance of the old caution flag coming out and causing some issues, so you just got to be a little bit cautious of that one and keep a little bit in reserve. But Foster is a wily old dog and he knows his stuff. Ruben Phelps sitting in behind him, got his VR issues fixed, thankfully. Ruben Phelps had some serious VR issues last time round. Oh, as he just touches the wall there. It turned out to be a light fixture in the room that he was racing in that caused some problems and was actually making his VR system turn to the left constantly, which was not fun because he had to turn his head all the way to the right to go straight, so that is not a fun situation to be in. Adam Malone sitting in third position. Another good run from Malone. We've seen some good running from him in the Southern Stars entry, and he's trying to keep the leaders in check. He's only about 1.6 down from the leaders at the moment, so he's in a fairly good position. Then we go back almost 4 seconds to Devon Stove. He has got Jamie Nankervis on the back of him. Nankervis is back on with a charge as it stands. Nankervis having a good run back at the moment. The number 8 is getting a good run with, of course, the custom paints and die-cast livery all over that car. Title sponsor for the series, of course. A big thank you to them as ever. But he is trying his best to get back to Devon Stove as Devon Stove just scrapes the wall there. We hear the Darlington stripe and things like that, but the Bristol stripe is very much in action here tonight. Few drivers just scraping off that right-hand paint schemes of theirs, so they'll have to be careful not to scrape too much off, because I'm sure the sponsors won't be happy if they lose all of the car decal off the right-hand side. And again, Devon Stove just gets a little bit of contact with the wall. You see the sparks just coming off the car there, just as it grinds up against the wall. And that's just going to start costing him a little bit of momentum. It's not too bad on time, but it just slows the car down a little bit and will give Jamie Nankervis a run, as he does get a run down the inside. Can't make it work though. Nankervis has to lift. Will he be able to get it round this time? Gets down on the inside. Nankervis gets a good run now. He is getting a run on the inside as we switch cameras around. And it is Nankervis. Oh, he gets caught up behind a lapped car there. That is not what Nankervis needed. That has hurt him enormously. So that hurt his run. So he was hoping he would get some chance there. Toby Stent possibly having a bit of an issue as well. Just going back to see what's happened here with Toby Stent. Just looks like he has just got down just to get out the way of the leaders, just so he can get the car around, getting that wounded machine around. Quite a few drivers getting the wounded cars to trying to get to the 25% race distance, of course, or a little bit further, of course, because there are quite a few people that have dropped out, so they've got a chance of moving up a few positions. A little bit further back, the battle is on between Malone and Phelps. That battle will soon be underway. Just keeping an eye on Stove and Nankervis at the moment, but I think the big one is going to be Phelps and Malone. Malone is on an absolute flyer now. He's really charging up and getting up behind Rubes at the moment. Ruben is doing his best to defend that position, but not the easiest thing to do. It's especially when a car has got a lot more pace than you, it can really make things difficult and really cost you a bit of time. So he's going to really be trying his best to keep him behind him at the moment, but looks like Malone has got some really good pace, so watch out for Adam Malone, because he has got some he's definitely got some pace in that car. The other battle we're looking at the moment is Devon Stove and Jamie Nankervis. That battle is really starting to heat up. Then we have Matty Ray catching on Jai Schultz as well. He's got his teammate Noddy Tompkins just between him and Jai at the moment. But the two SRM cars there catching up, Mobile Brake and Mechanical. repair sponsorship on the nose, of course. If you're in Adelaide and anything goes wrong, give them a quick buzz. As those two still battle it out. So, not seeing much passing at the moment. I think the most likely one is this battle between Stove and Nan Curvis. As Stuart Patterson seems to have had a bit of an issue. Might just be getting out the way of some drivers. Indeed, he is. Nothing major there. As he's just limping that car home at the moment. Quite a few walking wounded out there. A few cars that are a little bit more zombie-like than anything else. They're basically the living dead, you could say. But they are doing a good job of keeping it out there and keeping the cars out of the leader's way, which is a crucial thing to do. And it's a hard thing to do sometimes, because it is very easy to get caught up in a bit of a battle and get sort of caught in a battle and in a fight, and then you do have that moment where you will get in the way of the leaders sometimes. So you've got to be a bit careful of that one. There we go. Finally done what I meant to do earlier on in this race, so I apologise about that. Remembering to share things and get things done through the socials is always the hard part when you're doing production. Meanwhile, Maddie Ray and Jai Schultz are fighting it out, and they are side by side at the moment, really putting on a good battle. And they got Darren Mckenzie in this one as well. These three are very much getting in a battle. Michael Skurlock looking to get involved in this fight too. This could be a 4-car battle very shortly as they start slowing up. Little bit of a wiggle there for Maddie Ray. Just loses the rear as he tries to get underneath them. Probably the tyre's getting a little bit too hot as he gets a little bit low. Tries to put that low line on, doesn't make it work. Darren Mckenzie takes advantage of that, gets past Jai Schultz and Maddie Ray. The reigning champion Darren Mckenzie, of course, he is displaying the number one proudly, and he has managed to get past Jai Schultz, Maddie Ray and Michael Skurlock in this battle. Great job from him, and he has now got some serious speed underneath him, so he's going to be looking to catch up to the rest of that pack who are battling away at the moment. Darren Mckenzie pulling away quickly from Jai Schultz and Maddie Ray. Maddie Ray now on the inside, getting past Jai Schultz, getting the move done. Will he get there completely? Maddie Ray looks to have the pass made. Does he have it fully made yet? Yes, he does, and he slices up in front of Jai Schultz. Jai Schultz goes for the over-under, tries to get the crisscross done, but it does not work for him, and Maddie Ray moves up another position. Maddie Ray on the move through the pack, as is always the way for Mr. Sheen. Loves working his way through the pack, doing another good job moving it up. Meanwhile, Foster's still in the lead in the 53 Natari car. Ruben Phelps in second place with the Goodyear Autocare Verana team. Adam Malone still sitting there in third. He's just not pushing too hard, doing a good job of just keeping on the tail. Devon Stove has now pulled out a little bit of a lead over Jamie Nankervis, so he's managed to get a little bit of breathing room. And now Darren Mckenzie is the one that is chasing down Nankervis, so that's the one to watch out for. Maddie Ray is on a charge now as well. It looks like those guys have kept their tyres a little bit slightly in better condition for the latter stages of this stint, and it is working out for them as we get to the 115 lap mark. It's going well so far. Michael Skurlock's got some more pace in him. Jai Schultz just falling down the order now as he struggles to keep that car up to pace. Mark Smith, one lap down, of course, is in 10th position. We've got 9 cars on the lead lap, but with Foster's pace at the moment, he's surely going to be a few less than that soon. So keep an eye on this one. If we keep going green, probably need at least one more stop, I think, for these drivers. So they'll probably have to do a green flag stop eventually.
You'll get home on fuel, Carl, but the tyres are going to be the question.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. You've just got to be careful of those tyres going poppity pop, haven't you? That's, I think, going to be the question mark of tonight, is if you can get it home on the tyres. Because what you don't want to have happen is for a tyre to blow out on you on track, because that can really cost you a lot of time.
Yeah, definitely. And not to mention ruin some other people's races too, because it'll just go bang and turn you.
That is it. It really can throw you off. As Adam Malone starts to make a bit of an impression on Ruben Phelps now, he is pushing forwards and trying to get ahead of Phelps. Still battling it out, those two. Darren Mckenzie and Maddie Ray, meanwhile, are absolutely flying through the field. They are pushing forwards at a vast rate of knots and having a good fight. You see there in the background, Stuart Patterson's car is a little bit wounded, missing pretty much the whole front end, and I think there's only an engine block left on that machine. Other than the back end of it, it is looking pretty worse for wear at the moment, but doing a good job of just keeping it there. And he's got some pace, but I think that's mainly down to the fact that he has got some fresher tyres than the rest of the field. So he's only done 22 laps on those tyres, and you can see the difference the tyres make there. So he's had a bit of a moment. Devon Stove having a bit of an issue. What's happened to Devon Stove here? As he's just always just lost it going out of turn 4. Big moment for Stove. Very lucky not to have the caution come out then. But he has had a big moment. Just lost the rear, it looks like. And that car has gone right around. There was a little bit of contact there. Looked like a little bit of contact there by somebody just tagging the back of Devon Stove, and that has caused him to go right around. Very lucky to get away with that as much as he did. Justin Allen also just, I think, getting out the way of people. So lucky not to have a caution flag there. That was very close to having the caution flag fly for us. Again tonight, so far only 3 cautions, which is always nice. Less cautions the better. We like it when we don't see too many cautions, because we get some great racing like we've got in the moment between Mckenzie, Raymond and Skurlock. These 3 are just chasing their way through the pack. They're a good 9 seconds off the lead, but they are in a really good race with each other, and they are pushing their way through the field and catching up to Jamie Nankervis now. Nankervis needs to get a bit of a hurry on to start pulling away from these guys, because if they catch up to him, he's going to start to be in trouble. Michael Skurlock is on the he's the freshest car to stop, so he stopped on, he's only done 72 laps, so he stopped, he has done a few less laps than some of the other drivers out there, so interesting to see on that part. But we jump back to our leader. It's still Foster and Natari leading for the 53. A common sight for, as everybody says, the godfather of the ANSCAR series and, Weekend Warriors as well. Edward Foster always having a good run. Meanwhile, Maddie Ray and Darren Mckenzie are still battling out. Side by side we go. Maddie Ray getting a good run off the corner here. Can he make the move? Can he get up in front of Mckenzie? These 2, if they keep on battling like this, it's going to help Nankervis out, because they're going to start losing position, well, losing time, I should say. But Maddie Ray has made the move. Mr. Raddy May himself moving past Mckenzie, getting past, and now it's his job to try and chase down this man, Jamie Nankervis. Will he be able to do it? And Kobe Jordan, both Iridium cars in the wall. Yeah, that is a shame. Not a good night for Iridium tonight. It is a tricky track, though. It's one of those places where things can go wrong so very quickly for you. And if you just get caught out, the car is, especially this next gen car, if you just get on that apron, the car is just going to absolutely get out under control from you. And it is very easy to have an accident, and of course you can see the debris of all of the tyres up there as well. All of the marbles, as we call them, those little bits of rubber that come off the tyres. Once you get up there as well, it is very hard to keep those cars out of the wall, because you get all those debris on the tyres, and all of a sudden the car becomes really hard to drive. Mckenzie, reigning champion, having to defend against the handlebar moustache of Mr. Michael Skurlock at the 350, putting all the pressure on the number 1 at the moment. The number 1 still in that beautiful Anzac livery, of course. And he is getting past Skurlock, getting a good run on the inside here. Will he manage to get chopped up? He does indeed. He moves up. Meanwhile, up ahead, Maddie Ray has made the move on Nankervis. Maddie Ray moving up into 4th position. He is on a serious charge at the moment. Really good speed at the moment from the SRM. Mobile Brakes and Mechanical Repair car. Very good run indeed from him at the moment. So he's going to be pretty happy with that one. Devon Stove, first car a lap down at the moment. He's going to be hoping that a caution flag does come out, because that would really help him at the moment, get the lucky dog. He's currently in P9. Foster still in the lead. Paul Drady having a bit of a moment again, possibly. Let's just check back on this one. Just getting out of the way of the rest of the field, so nothing there for Drady. No issues at all. Adam Malone and Ruben Phelps still battling it out on track. Meanwhile, Skurlock is the man to next make the move on Nankervis. It looks like Nankervis' tyres may have fallen off the cliff, so he might be struggling a little bit right now with the pace on that car. So it looks like his tyres have absolutely dropped off. So interesting to see what he can do. Darren Mckenzie has come into pit lane. So Mckenzie has decided, I think, to come into pit lane, unless he's had a bit of an accident. What's happened here for Mckenzie? No, just going slow. So Darren Mckenzie is the first of the top drivers to pit. So interesting there for Mckenzie. So he has come in for fresh boots. So he's going to hope that he can actually get a bit of an undercut. So this is a sign that drivers will be coming in probably for one more stop. We are on lap 145 of 200. So we have 55 laps remaining tonight. Foster in the lead. Phelps in second. Adam Malone in third.
Tell you what, Carl, I've done 92 laps on this set of tyres, and she's starting to find itself a bit skatey.
Yeah, they're looking a little bit tricky to handle out there at the moment. It's not looking the easiest of cars. Despite, I mean, if you look at Foster, it looks fine. It looks like he's having an absolute easy time with it, but everybody else seems to be getting a little bit loose. That car's just getting a little bit twitchy on the rear end, and people are definitely considering those pit stops at the moment.
I know, I pit, but I don't know where pit lane entry is.
It's somewhere. It's you know, the trouble is here. Of course, there's 2 pit lanes, so take your choice. You know, make the choice. You'll either get the right one or the wrong one. There's a 50-50 chance. So it is Darren Mckenzie currently the car that has made a stop. So he has currently made a stop for fresh boots, and he is one of the fastest cars out on track at the moment. But he is 2 laps down, so that is the cost of pitting under green. These drivers out front are going to be hoping that a caution flag comes out, because if that happens, it will really help them out and give them the opportunity to stop under yellow. Currently Foster leads. It has been Foster in the lead for 151 laps, 152 laps make that as he crosses the line. Foster has led every single lap at the moment, as it's like Mark just moving out the way for somebody else, I think.
No, I need tyres.
Okie dokie, coming into pit lane. Gotta love the old my event filter. It doesn't let me know sometimes if it's a pit stop or if it's somebody crashing. It comes up for somebody crashing when somebody goes onto pit lane. So you never know what it is sometimes. But out at front, Foster has almost a 4-second lead. Well, it is a 4-second lead now over Phelps. So having a good run there. We jump back to Ruben Phelps and Malone. Ruben Phelps and Adam Malone. Not much between them at all. Just a couple of attempts between those two. Adam Malone has a good 3.5-second lead over Maddie Ray at the moment. Maddie Ray and Michael Skurlock pretty much running neck and neck with each other. Then we go back and it is almost a 3-second drop to Jamie Nankervis a little bit further back. as we see Mark Johansson coming back out on track, and he has got back out on track and is moving forwards with those fresh tyres. 3 laps off the lead at the moment for Mark, but a few cautions can get that one back. Darren Mckenzie, meanwhile, is still running there in 9th position. Of course, the first of the top cars to take a fresh set of boots, and he will be eating away lap time. He will get a really good advantage if everybody else has to stop under green flag conditions. He's just behind Devon Stove, who has a lap on him at the moment. He's battling it out with Jai Schultz as it stands. Jamie Nankervis is just ahead of Schultz, and as we say, Nankervis is dropping it off pace-wise a little bit, struggling with that car, it seems, not having the easiest of times in that vehicle, so really seems to be struggling a little bit. As you say, the car's getting a bit skatey, so that is not a fun thing to have, and the car's just getting a little bit tail happy, which does make things a little bit more interesting out there. So just jumping back, and it is Devon Stove now just getting passed by Mckenzie. Mckenzie working his way up. He's now 1 lap down, so Mckenzie has managed to unlap himself, so he's managed to get one of those laps back, importantly. So this could be a good call for Mckenzie if it remains green. He could work his way back, especially if his leaders have to come into pit lane. That's going to start... They're going to really find they drop a lot of places. Of course, they will have fresher tyres for the rest of the race, which will help them out an enormous amount. But if there is cautions and things like that, it can really throw things around. So, you're taking a bit of a risk now. It's sort of, with Mckenzie in that position, he could be in a good spot now for the rest of the race. But it is Foster in the lead. Doesn't look like he's looking at coming in pit lane anytime soon. 166 laps of 200 gone for the Mockingbird. Mockingbird 200. I had Mockingjay in my head there. This just tells how awake I am at the moment, everybody. I'm absolutely with it, as you can tell. Meanwhile, Ruben Phelps is having to defend against Adam Malone. So these two are putting on a great battle. As it stands, Phelps just keeping Malone behind him. These two have been battling it out lap after lap, almost the whole race. Maddie Ray, meanwhile, a little bit further behind, has got Skurlock, and they are catching these two. So Ruben Phelps and Adam Malone, as they battle along, they're going to have to be careful because they are losing time. And as they lose time, it's going to help those guys just behind them catch up. So, as we say, a big thank you to everybody joining us tonight on the unusual channel, of course, on my page, as all laps traffic is going to come into play here, and this has given Malone the opportunity to get up past Phelps. They go 3 wide up into the corner, and there's contact. Phelps gets caught out. Door-to-door contact between Phelps and Malone. Adam Malone just pushes his way past Ruben Phelps there. Absolutely muscles his way through the lap traffic. Very nice move there by Malone. Bit of rubbing and racing there, and I'm sure Phelps will be thinking about giving him some payback. But they are going 3 wide as they get through traffic. Phelps has got a bit of a run on Malone this time. Those two are getting close and close to each other. Will we see Ruben Phelps get another run on Adam Malone here as they're getting past and through traffic? I think that was Nolly Tompkins just tapping the wall there as Ruben Phelps just gets through. And that's given Malone the opportunity to get a little bit more lead as he gets side by side with Mark Smith. Mark Smith on the outside there. This will help Ruben Phelps get a bit of a run right now. These two are battling it out extremely hard out on track, and they are giving a fantastic run. But this is really helping Maddie Ray catch up. You just see at the top of the screen there, Maddie Ray in the top of the shot there, the second of the SRM cars, and Michael Skurlock. They are getting ever so close right now, very close to these guys. Mark Smith just dropping down out of the line to get out the way of the rest of the pack. But Malone has managed to pull out a little bit of a lead here, and this has helped him. A little bit further back, you can see the cars trying to get through the traffic. And you've got Darren Mckenzie there as well. He's working his way through this pack too, as he tries his best to get past these guys to get onto the lead lap. He is really working extremely hard, having to pass a lot of cars on track to do this. But he has to do it. Just in case that caution flag flies, he wants to be at least the first car a lap down, if not on the lead lap, and just keep himself safe if that caution flag flies. We are getting towards the end of this race. We've got 178 laps, so we are 178 into 200, so we are getting towards the tail end of this race. Will Mackenzie's strategy pay off? Will we see the leaders needed to come in for tyres? That's going to be the question. Meanwhile, Matty Ray has managed to get past Ruben Phelps. They are having a battle, and Matty Ray does it. He's up into third position. Phelps dropping down now, struggling with those tyres, it seems, as Darren Mckenzie pushes his way through as well on that fresher set of tyres. Now done 40 laps in this stint. Michael Skurlock just sitting in behind Ruben Phelps at the moment. Phelps dropping from second down into fourth within a couple of laps, and he might be feeling into fifth position soon. Currently, Jamie Nankervis is the first car a lap down in sixth position. Foster almost lapping the entire field at the moment. He is getting close to that. Has a long way to go to catch Michael Skurlock, but he is in a lead of his own at the moment, 7 seconds ahead of Adam Malone. Matty Ray, though, is really trying to press hard and catch up to Malone ahead. Matty Ray doing a great job of tyre saving tonight, just keeping that car alive for the latter stages of this race. Ruben Phelps still keeping it ahead of Skurlock at the moment, but Skurlock gets a good run underneath Phelps. Looks like Skurley's going to make the pass here. Will he be able to keep it on that low line? He's going to be putting a bit more pressure on those tyres, and those tyres will be feeling the pressure right now as they get a little bit older. But Michael Skurlock makes the move and gets past Ruben Phelps. Phelps down into fifth position. As I will quickly take a quick puff of oxygen there, as all of that talking just took it out of me.
I'm just going to take a puff of a Marlboro.
I know, it's people go, oh, commentary's nice and easy, isn't it? No, it can get quite furious when you start getting a roll on. Meanwhile, Matty Ray is catching Malone at a vast rate of knots. Matty Ray has really done a great job keeping these tyres alive. He is doing a fantastic run in the second half of this race. Really doing a good job and kept this car alive. He is really catching up. He's got Darren Mckenzie behind him. Mckenzie, remember, on the freshest set of boots out there. So he is doing a great job to keep ahead. It looks like Mackenzie's tyres have sort of plateaued a little bit now. But Matty Ray has just got this car and kept it alive. And he is really putting some pressure on Malone now for that second place spot. Will we see him move out there? And does he have enough pace to catch up to Foster? 12 laps to go here at Bristol Motor Speedway, of course, brought to you by Track Racer and, of course, Custom Paints and Diecast. If you're looking for a diecast and want a fantastic job done, Custom Paints and Diecast are definitely the ones to go for. A fair few of these boys have got their cars done up with Custom Paints Diecast, and they look magnificent. As Matty Ray gets down on the inside of Malone here, makes the move. Will he be able to hold it down underneath long enough? It looks like he might do. Side by side right now, Malone and Raymond. Raymond gets a good run off the corner. They are still side by side. It's neck and neck at the moment. As the caution flag flies, we've got a caution. Big accident. Norman Clark. Oh, as they squeeze through. What happened there? I could see Norman Clark involved in that one. We're going to go back, and this is going to be a pit stop for the leaders, so they're going to be able to get some fresh tyres, and this is exactly what Mckenzie did not want to see happen. And Foster. Is that Foster? That is Foster. Foster caught up in that one. Foster caught up in lap traffic.
Mark Smith and Nobby, I think it was.
Mark Smith and Noddy, indeed. and he's got caught up in that. Those two battling it out, and this is what I said could happen. You've got to be so careful with these lap cars. Mark Smith's gone down to get out the way of Foster. Noddy Tompkins on the inside. He's gone into the side of Noddy there, spun Noddy up. Foster's got nowhere to go. Foster just gets into Tompkins there, and around he goes. That is disastrous for Foster. That is exactly what you do not want to have happen when you're leading a race, especially when you've got that much time. He does manage to maintain the lead of the race, though. How much damage is on the front of that Natari car? That's going to be the question now. He has got some damage on there, and that is going to hurt him a little bit in the latter stages of this race. We've only got 7 laps to go. Are we going to see people come into pit lane? Adam Malone has. So we've seen Adam Malone come into pit lane. Foster's stuck it out there. Raymond stuck it out there. Are they coming into pit lane? No, Raymond's coming in now. Foster's stuck it out there. So Foster has left it out on track. Foster has decided track position is key rather than fresh tyres. Adam Malone's going to jump up into second place. This is going to throw the order all out of whack as everybody comes down pit lane. Darren Mckenzie, of course, his strategy is ruined. I think I wonder if he gets the lucky dog. But that's absolutely put an end to his little run there. That's hurting him for sure. But Foster keeping it out there on those old tyres. That's an interesting strategy, and this could be painful for Foster now.
Yeah, could be dangerous for him. Unfortunately, my night's done. I had nowhere to go. Got caught up in that last one myself.
So pace car lights have gone out. Adam Malone for Southern Stars is sitting on the outside there. Ruben Phelps, Maddie Ray, all on fresh boots. They have got fresh tyres. Jai Schultz as well. Jai Schultz, I think, will be at the back of the pack as he was the lucky dog. But he's got fresh tyres. This could be a good run for them. I think what Foster's banking on is a possible second caution. He's hoping for some cautions breeding cautions here and hoping that track position will be key for him. But he's going to have a heck of a thing to do to keep these cars behind him on those old boots. He is really going to struggle. We have seen that sometimes it does take a lap or two for the tyres to get up to temperature, but I think the extra grip on those tyres is going to be key here. This is going to be so hard for Foster to get right. The 53, it was looking so good for Foster. Will this work out for him? He's taking a real risk of keeping it out now. I wonder if he's possibly got... I wonder if he possibly had... yeah. I wonder if he's got some serious damage. He goes early, he pulls away nice and early, gets a good jump on the lead. You see Maddie Ray there just getting caught up behind Adam Malone. Ruben Phelps getting a good run underneath. So Ruben Phelps has got a good run now, so has Maddie Ray. This is a battle for the last 3 laps of the race. There's Ruben Phelps in second. Maddie Ray there as well. Maddie Ray gets a run underneath Ruben, can't quite make it work. It is Adam Malone. Oh, who's that in the background? Was that Nan Curvis? Yes, it was Nan Curvis having a big moment, but we are still green flag racing here, so it remains green here. 2 more laps to go. Foster in the lead. It is Phelps, Maddie Ray, Adam Malone behind him. Foster has managed to pull out a bit of a gap. The white flag is out. Will Foster do this on those old tyres? Has he pulled a stroke of genius here, getting those old tyres to work? Will Maddie Ray manage to make it work? No, he won't. Foster takes the win, as there is a huge accident across the line, but Maddie Ray comes home in second. Ruben Phelps in third, as there is carnage across the finish line as cars lose it in that last couple of moments. We'll just go back and have a little bit of a look at that final moments there, but Foster takes the win. Magnificent victory from Edward Foster, and that is one heck of a win there on those old tyres. Maddie Ray comes home in second place. It looks like Malone got into the back of Ruben Phelps, and Maddie Ray just losing it on his own, and then nowhere to go, unfortunately, and all the cars coming across the line gets caught up in that one. But it is Edward Foster for Natari taking the victory. flag to flag. He led every single lap of tonight's race as well. A dominant victory from Edward Foster. Let's just get the race summary just up here. So 200 laps, 0 lead changes, 4 cautions for the night, under 20 laps of caution. Edward Foster leading every single lap here at Bristol. A job well done indeed for a car that it all looked like it was going to go wrong when he got caught up in that final incident, and I reckon he would have been sitting there going, well, that's my night done. But it ended up paying off for him as Foster takes the win. Matty Ray comes home in second position, charging his way through the field. A great job from Matty Ray, as always. Ruben Phelps in third. Jai Schultz comes home in fourth. Really good, strong finish for him. Michael Skurlock works his way from the back of the pack to fifth position. Devon Stove in sixth. Adam Malone seventh. Mark Smith in eighth. Ninth for Nankervis. 10th for Darren Mckenzie. Well, I do have them both showing as P9 for some reason. Maxi Marshall in 11th. Let's just run through the finishing order, actually. Let's just get the race results up and hide that one. There we go. So we can see here. So 17 positions gained for Matty Ray. A fantastic job for him at the SRM boy, having another good run. Ruben Phelps comes home third. This is going to keep his championship alive. Joey Schultz in fourth, Michael Skurlock fifth, sixth for Devon Stove, Adam Malone seventh, eighth for Mark Smith, ninth for Jamie Nankervis, 10th for Maxi Marshall. As I... Where am I looking for? Forgive me as I am trying to... There we go. There we go, next page. There we go. Darren Mckenzie in 11th, possibly. I've got a few issues on my timer screen there. Brad Allison, 12th. 13th for Justin Allen. Noddy Tompkins, 14th. 15th for Mark Johansson. 16th for Toby Stent. Wayne Van Bullion in 17th. 18th for Stuart Patterson. Norman Clark manages to crawl it back home in 19th after a big accident. 20th for Paul Drady. Tom Pritchard in 21st. And Tristan Koch, the car that I don't think he turned a lap. I don't think he actually got out there. So all in all, a pretty darn good race, and that was one heck of a finish. And look, I think Foster is going to be pretty darn happy with that one. All things considering, he had he very much almost had a disastrous end to his night with that run as he got caught up in that incident. But a fantastic job for Foster, who kept on those old tyres and got the victory. So what we'll do is we'll grab up our third place finisher, Mr. Ruben Phelps. First of all, Ruben Phelps, welcome to the booth. Congratulations on a third place finish tonight.
Yeah, third place again.
Yeah, it's a bit of a habit for you, but I mean, look, if you're going to finish, third place is not a bad place to finish, and it keeps the championship hopes alive as well. I mean, you know, only finishing a couple of places behind your rival, that's not a bad place to end the night.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm just the one area I'm just having a bit of trying to understand is that I find, like, generally in the race, my second stint and beyond, I mean, I guess I know the track changes and all that, but from that point onwards, I can't steer in the entries of the corners as nicely as I did from, say, after qualifying and, you know, that first stint. So obviously, you know that I've been able to qualify really well lately, like probably way too well than I would realise. But every time I get in the race, I'll get to that first stint, but then once I've put that second set of tyres on, I'm a complete different driver, and I just cannot get everything out of it, or I'm lacking pace of something.
Yeah, we saw that in that final stint before the caution came out. You seem to be dropping down on pace quite quickly.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find that little medium. I don't really want to always be the fastest in qualifying, but it'd be nice to have that medium where I can actually, can be consistent, which I am doing. It's just I'm not able to do everything. Like I could not get off the top. I had to stay there the whole time, because as soon as I got into the bottom lane, nothing. There was no rotation, no steer, nothing. So
Yeah.
some of these, so there was a bit of traffic issues in this race where I was a bit frustrated. I think that's how Adam Malone and I got together and made contact coming near the end there, because there's a big traffic jam and they weren't holding their lines. They were bumping each other. And I couldn't choose a line because I only had to be at the top, and he had a run, and of course we got checked up, so we got together. But again, I still managed to get third, obviously, so I managed to lessen the blow of points and all that. But these bonus points and things, I need to start getting them, because it's not helping.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like pole positions and things like that, they could possibly help a little bit. But tonight it just looked really hard, and I mean, we saw that little moment between you and Malone. A bit of door-to-door contact as well. That sort of that kind of thing. You had to race hard out there. But that final little run to the flag, obviously you all came in for tyres, so you must have been thinking you got a bit of a chance here on Foster.
Yeah, no, I when I had that pit stop, I thought, okay, I might be able to, I can get him in the early stage of the run, or I thought I could, especially how I was at the start of the race. So I thought I can, if I can get a chance to get past him, just get a bonus point and all that scenario, I'll be thing. But then, of course, Edward ended up leading pretty much the whole race, and so of course, those
led every single lap.
Yes, every single lap. I'm pretty sure he might have got the fast lap. Of course, he got pole position, and all I had to do was get a 0x, which I had until the last corner.
Oh, yep. We saw that little bit of contact coming out the final corner as well, so almost made it across the line. But a shame there. One good thing though, it seems like the VR issues are fixed.
Yep. For the people that didn't know, the reason my VR was playing up, or if anybody actually has a VR problem, there's two little camera sensors on both sides of the headset. Make sure you have your bedroom light on.
Yes.
That's all I can say.
A simple thing of remembering to turn the lights on. No, congratulations on a P3 tonight. It was a hard race, but you managed to get up there. You kept the car relatively out of trouble as well, and a good, strong finish again for you. Before I let you go, the usual thing of shout out enough to sponsors.
Well, I've got to thank Goodyear Auto Care, Warana SimSport, obviously with Mark and Tristan, and usually Brett Campbell, but I think Brett Campbell's been having some connection problems, so he hasn't been around of recently, and I think Tristan might have had a computer problem today. That's why we didn't see him. But of course, Mark Smith, and of course the whole East Coast Motorsport boys as well, with Brad and Mark Johansson. But also got to thank Mark Johansson for the league, and of course I got to thank Jamie Nankervis before I run away, and SimShare Broadcasting, and Carl for putting up with all, must get much talking all the time. Sitting on the computer chair.
That is all good. No worries, Ruben. Thank you so much. I'm sure we'll catch you back here soon.
Yeah, cheers.
Next up, we will grab the SRM driver, the driver that made the most positions tonight and worked his way through the field, as is the most common thing. Mr. Matty Ray, congratulations on a fantastic second place finish.
Yeah, cheers, Carl. How you going, man?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Pretty cruisy night in the office tonight. I mean, started your way down the pack, worked your way through, got up into second place. Looked like it was looking good up there at the front. Final couple of laps, fresh tyres. You must have been thinking you had a chance to get Foster.
Well, that was the plan. Well, sort of anyway. But where did I start? Do you know?
You started in 18th, I think.
Yeah,
sorry, no, 19th, I think, or 20th. I don't know. You made 17 positions. Doing maths not a strong point.
But yeah, no, it was good. Down towards the end there, that last stint saved pretty well and did all right there. And had a little bit of damage. I think I got into it with someone. Might have been Malone.
Sorry, Matty, you just started 19th.
19th. Yeah, there we go. So, no, not bad, eh?
Not bad at all.
But yeah, that last yellow, I saw Ed staying out there, and I'm like, well, I've got to give it a go, don't I? Because I think where was I when I came in? 3rd, 4th, 5th, something like that. And so I thought, yeah, I've got to try some tyres, and a couple of others came with me, I think, and charged through him at the end, and yeah, nearly had him, but coming out of 4, I just kept the boot into it, and it kept coming around.
Just absolutely drifted it around there.
Yeah.
I think you were in 2nd when the caution came out, because you were battling it with Malone just as that caution came out. Obviously, the tyre save, you did a really good tyre save there to the end, and just kept that car in a fantastic position, because you had some seriously good pace in the closing laps of this race. You seem to keep those tyres alive to the end.
Yeah. That's well, you know, mate, that's sort of always my plan, sort of thing, is to not go too hard early in a stint and let everything warm up evenly. And I find anyway with my own results, it tends to serve me better towards the longer stint or the longer run, if we get it. You know, like a lot of the time it can end up being yellows, of course, but
well, I mean,
yeah, when it does pay off, it pays off well.
Surprisingly, at Bristol, we had quite a lot of green flag runs.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised about that, considering how much of a bit of a death trap this place is.
I hear it was a good night as well in the 87s for the team.
We did pretty well there. Noddy got his first chicken dinner. Picking up the win at Charlotte we were running at, and yeah, I was lucky enough to be behind him, so we got SRM's first one too as well. So
congratulations on that.
Been a real good night.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're getting all the silverware tonight. I mean, you know, it's lots of second places, but you know, that's not a bad thing. And look, a really strong performance tonight. Congratulations on P2 tonight. It was great watching you run through the field. Thanks for giving us some good entertainment. And I am sure we'll catch you back in the booth soon.
Oh, I hope so, yeah, that's the plan.
Hope not.
Before I let you go, though, the usual thing of shout out and love to sponsors.
Yeah, of course. Our main 2 guys that help us out a lot, Johnny Larber, he runs a company named Mobile Breaker Mechanical Repairs here in Adelaide. He's been a wonderful help, and Scott McClay at S. McClay Mechanical Repairs down at Edwardstown here in Adelaide as well. We've got a couple other guys, KL Crash, Mate of Auckland Hotel, Zach over at Zachtastic Modding, just guys that chip in and help out with things like doing our paints and logos and all sorts of different stuff. So big shout out to all them guys. It all helps, and we really appreciate it. So thank you.
No, it's always good. Thank you so much, Maddie Ray. I'm sure we'll catch you back soon.
Thanks, guys. Of course, you guys for putting on the stream too. JP Simshed, everyone that puts all the work into it. It's countless hours, and you don't get enough thank yous for it, I don't reckon. But yeah, we appreciate it, mate.
We don't deserve it. Nah, it's all right.
Sorry, I'm just tearing up here. Oh, that's the nicest anyone said anything to us.
Yeah.
Well, you do. Yeah, it's. I mean, I can understand how much work you blokes in particular, especially you.
Oh, look,
you put a lot of work into this stuff. So
a big shout out to Maddie Hunter tonight, because he did all the liveries tonight. Got them. Yeah. Got the overlays and stuff working.
Oh yeah, how good does that look?
Yeah, it's turned out pretty well. I mean, he's just managed to get that working. So obviously we're I'm out on my channel tonight because JP's away. So it's
okay.
It's got it. We managed to get things working, so that's the main thing. So I hope you enjoy watching this one back. Thank you so much for joining us in the booth, and we'll see you again soon.
Will do. Cheers, boys. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Good, well done.
Cheers, mate.
And finally, we'll grab up. Oh, sorry, Matt.
I was just gonna say, you know, everyone puts a lot of crap on everyone else, but I'll tell you what, tonight I will put out a big shout to Matt for his work he's done tonight on these overlays. I've just been able to look in and seen them, and they really do look good.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job of getting it up to scratch and up to snuff. Now, we're joined up in the booth by Mr. Edward Foster, and just on the screen at the moment we have got that we've got the incident that I imagine got you a little bit annoyed. congratulations on the win, first of all, but how were you feeling when you got caught up in that accident?
I don't even really know how to describe it too much. I mean, I had about 8 seconds, I think, over Adam, and I was just sort of sat in behind these guys while they were running 2x2. I didn't want to take it 3 wide, and I sat behind them for a good few laps. And then I could see that Adam was gaining, quite a bit. He was taking a few chunks out, and it might have gotten a little bit closer than I wanted it to by the end of the race, if I didn't make a move. And then I had a look at them, and they were kind of staying side by side, and then it looked as though Smith was sort of pulling ahead on the outside, so I sort of followed him. And the next thing, they made contact, and I was in it. So, I mean, I had to find a way past them because they were holding me up a little bit too much for me to be able to manage the gap to Malone behind. But look, it wasn't the highlight of my race, I'll put it that way.
No, great save from yourself though on that low line, just getting the car turned and getting the power down to keep it up ahead of those guys catching you as well under the caution. Obviously not stopping for tyres at the end as well.
Yeah, look, I mean, being in first, you don't really know what everyone else is going to do, and everybody else can just do the opposite of what you do. And I was looking at the laps to go, and I'm going, okay, well, you know what? There's 3 laps going to be left when we go green. So I'm thinking, okay, if I come down and nobody else does, that's going to put me in around about 4th place on fresh tyres with only 3 laps to go. But if another caution comes out straight away, I've just thrown the race away. And the other thing as well is that cold tyres are a bit sketchy. You know, they took around about until sort of lap 5 or 6 to really start giving their best. So I knew that these guys were going to have to be really careful on the throttle coming off the turns. And I obviously didn't know what type of speed the car was going to have after it got hit like that. So I just had to hope that it was going to be okay, and hope that the cold tyres were going to be too much of a hurdle for those guys to overcome in those 3 laps. You know, if we'd gone 5, 6, 7 laps, I think that probably would have had me. But those 3 laps and the fact that they were running side by side and everything else, sort of let me out of jail. I was able to bring it home. So, yeah, all good in the end.
All good in the end. I mean, we say all good in the end. Really good result for you tonight. Obviously, led every single lap, pole position, and I think fastest lap as well. So you pretty much did everything there is possible to do out there tonight, and it had an adventurous one as well. I mean, it was not just leading from start to finish. You got involved in a wreck as well. So I mean, it was an adventurous night. I imagine you would have preferred not to have that incident, but absolute dominance out there.
Yeah, look, I mean, I was kind of hoping that to get through with a 0x, because you actually get a point or 2 for that in this series. So was kind of hoping to keep the 0x, so I guess I didn't. So
almost made it without that one.
Yeah,
missed out on that.
You got 3 out of 5 bonuses for Ed, bonus points. So you've got pole position, led more than 1 lap, led most laps, and you missed out on 0x and the fastest lap. The fastest lap went to Ruben with a 14.703.
Yeah, I never put too much into the 1 lap pace, so I'm not too surprised about that one. But yeah, certainly the 0x was on my mind. A bit disappointed not to come away with that, but I mean, hey, look, if I'm sitting there talking about being disappointed about missing out on 1 bonus point here and there out of the, however many, then it's been a pretty good night. So yeah, can't sit here and complain too much. I'll just say that I'm happy and be done with it.
No, that's it. Look, a really good drive from you tonight, and obviously long green periods as well. We kind of weren't expecting to see those. I think we were all expecting to see a fair few more cautions than we actually got.
Yeah, look, I mean, it was a decent sized field as well. I mean, normally Bristol sort of keeps people away, but 22 cars, around about half what you get in a real life field, and sort of average for what you get in this series. I don't think we were missing too many people tonight. Maybe on another night we might have got maybe 30 or so. But yeah, certainly for one of the unpopular tracks like this one, we got a really good turnout. And yeah, I was expecting a bit more carnage, to be honest. I was driving as if I expected the whole thing to go green, just because I didn't want to get caught short and there was a little bit of fuel management going on in that last stint as well. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by how much green flag running you got. I mean, a track like this, mile and a half, you're really able to get. That's not mile and a half mile. You managed to get into a really good rhythm with it. You know, you just kind of straight turn, straight turn, straight turn. You just build into a rhythm, and I'm not sure if you guys were watching the lap times at all, but I was, most of the time, even after I'd done 90 odd laps on the tyres, still sitting there 15.7, 15.7, 15.7, 15.7. You just get into a really good rhythm. So yeah, I like it when it's like that.
No, it really worked out well for you. Congratulations on the win tonight. It was not an easy to come by victory, obviously, but you had some seriously good pace out there, and got a little bit lucky as well, I suppose, with that incident. A little bit of luck's got to come your way now and again, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it could have. Another car could have got involved and spun into me and turned me around and everything else, so it could have been a lot worse. I mean, in the end, I had a half spin and gathered it, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, that's it. It was it could have been much, much worse than it was. Congratulations on the victory, and before I let you go, the usual thing of shout out and love to sponsors and all of those people.
Yeah, definitely. So, shout outs to Norman. He had a bit of a rough one tonight, but he stuck around to the end, so that was really cool. AJD and Fully Flawed, team sponsors. You guys for stepping in again for the broadcast, which gives everyone a chance to kind of, see the race, and gives me a chance to go and watch it back and everything else. And also to Mark and the lads who run the series. They've, a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, I know all too well. So, big shouts out to those boys, especially giving up their time on a weekend like this so we can have a bit of fun. So, thanks to all.
Not a problem. Thank you so much. Edward Foster, number 53 of Atari, taking the victory tonight, leading from start to finish. It may have looked like an easy win, but not nearly. The story is not that indeed. Have a good one, Ed, and I'm sure we'll catch you back in the booth soon.
Hope so. Thanks.
So, Mark, race is over and done with. I hear you got championship points to talk about.
Yes, mate. I've got to update championship points. It's provisional because there'll be penalties handed out from tonight's race. But in P1, Ruben Phelps still remains at the top with 427. Ed's closing that points down. He's in second on 400. Stevie Williams in third on 339. Jamie Nankervis is now in fourth spot on 338 points. Adam Malone moves up 2 positions to P5. Norman Clark stays in 6th place. Wayne Van Vision is in 7th. Kobe Jordan in 8th. He dropped 3 spots in the after missing tonight. Unfortunately, he didn't realise that he was in 5th. Justin Allen is in 9th, Mark Smith 10th, Tristan Cock in 11th, Darren Mckenzie 12th, Scott McClintock in 13th, Brad finally moves into the top 15, so he'll be happy with that. He's sitting in 14th, and rounding out the top 15 is Adam Ariel. So you can check all the up-to-date points, the race reports and everything on our webpage, www.weekendwarriorsascc.com.
Yeah, make sure to check out all the latest results there, and get well soon, Kobe Jordan, as well. Hopefully you recover shortly. Not feeling too well tonight, and it wasn't a spicy cough, which is always good news, but hopefully it does get better soon. Look, big thank you to you, Mark, for joining me up here in the booth just as much as you could, as you were busy out there racing. Our in-race reporter, Mr. Mark Johansson, doing a great job, as always, talking and driving. We will be back next week with
I was just gonna say what we got Monday night with the Trucks Vans car. Then what, the Thunder Series kicks off again this week, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. So next week with Anscar Wise, we've got the Trucks and the Thunder Series Monday and Wednesday. It is an off week for the Cup, so we actually get a night off on Thursday night, and then Weekend Warriors will be back next week, I believe, for something.
Yep, the Longhorn 300 from Texas Motor Speedway.
Beautiful. So you can catch all the action. Head over to the Weekend Warriors pages to catch the result, where everything will be broadcast. Of course, on their Facebook page is the easiest one to catch the information. But from myself, Mr. Carl Wilkinson Withy, I will wish you all a good night. Thank you for joining, and thank you for putting up with my channel as well. So cheers for that, and hopefully it will all be back to normal broadcast wise soon. Big thank you as well to Mr. Maddie Hunter as well for getting the overlays up and ready to go, and we will see you all again soon. But from tonight, we will wish you well, and we will see you all again soon. Bye bye.